Are you guys open?
We're opening at 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock, thank you. Damn. It's all right, we got plan B. So we're at Orale Tacos. We're gonna be eating 3 tacos and talking about 3 common myths with back pain.
The red one spicy, the green one's not.
Perfect, appreciate it. You gotta fucking drink tamarind. Any other thing else, you're a gringo. Dude, I'm starving. Let's go with this one. Yep, carnitas steak and then al pastor. It kind of comes in like what doner kebabs come in, or like, and then they shave it so the outside. I've had a couple of tacos in my day. First taco, gotta go red. .475 out of 5. Christy, we're coming back here. This is so good.
How does the meat taste?
Meat, tender. Whoa, pause. First back pain myth. When you get your back adjusted, it's not actually going back into place. So you can be like, oh my gosh, but my so-and-so, I don't want to throw a profession in the mix, but you know who does adjustments, but not all chiropractors and stuff like that are bad. I know a lot of great chiropractors that read research and understand this stuff. I'll even link some people in the show notes that, kind of debunk these myths as well. But if you think about it like this, if I'm applying a little bit of pulse like that and putting someone's back into a place, like when people get tackled in NFL, they would die. So sometimes, yes, there's definitely like research to it, but you can also just use logic. Like that's just not possible. And if it was adjusting it back into place, how do you know exactly how much to adjust it? What if it was too much and then it just slipped through the other way? You're gonna tell me they got that 99.9% accuracy all the time? So that's myth number 1. I'm starving. And you have to think about, like, you got the skin, you got the muscles, all of these things that are super dense. Like, I can hardly tell which tacos are which. How are you gonna be able to tell me, like, what segment is like hypomobile, what segment needs to be pushed in or popped out? It's one thing that I think when you get that narrative, you become like super scared to move because like, hey, I just got put back into place, don't want to do anything wrong. So I hate that one. This is actually insanely good. If you guys are in New York, let me know where the best taco is. Don't say tacos numero uno, because I know you're basic if you are. Al pastor, right? I said, yep, this is I see the pineapple, it's al pastor. Let's hit it with some green. This is a massive taco. Solid, 4.6 out of 5. Solid. Just so much meat in here. Myth number 2. You've got back pain because you've got degenerative changes where you got a bulging disc in your MRI. I've written a blog about this and there's a ton of research to show that you can literally be someone off the street without any pain, doesn't matter how old you are, and there's probably like an 80% chance that you have degenerative changes in your back. Likewise with bulging discs. So they did a great study, Mayo Clinic. They looked at over 5,000 backs of people that had no pain. And it was anywhere from like age 20 to like age 80. And the prevalence got higher and higher and higher, I think until it hit like age 70. But even when they're like 20 something years old, I think it's gotta be like high 60s or low 70s. When it got to like 80s, it was like straight up like 90 something percent. But again, remember, these are people that have absolutely no back pain. So they're just scanning them just to see what they find. And if it's that prevalent in people that have no pain, how relevant can it be for people that have pain? So let's say that 20-something-year-old's got degenerative changes in a bulging disc. And then maybe he has a spike in his training volume or he does something completely different that he's not used to, starts experiencing back pain. Maybe he goes to a medical provider, adjusts his back in place, and it's like, hey, we're setting your back in place, and now he's becoming overly sensitized or cautious about things. The fear keeps perpetuating, pain gets worse, go to a healthcare provider, get an MRI. You saw that bulging disc or degenerative change that might have been there for years. We don't have an MRI pre or post, so a lot of these things are they're just there, they're incidental findings. And if we place like a treatment process on it, like let's say you're gonna get surgery on it, now you might be treating something that might have no relevance but puts you at risk for something that's way too invasive for what you're experiencing. So myth number 2, definitely something I educate a lot of my clients on. Tons of clients with degenerative changes and bulging discs, deadlifting heavy, playing their sport, and doing the things they love. I gotta finish this taco. Dude, this is like a steal. We got the steak. You know, steak's been around for a long time, and so has this back pain myth. So we're gonna be debunking this one. But let's get into this taco first. Super, super tender. Favorite one so far. Also my favorite myth to debunk. Coincidence? Maybe, who knows? Third back pain myth. My pain is because of my posture. Kills me every single time. Some people are just gonna have different bony structures, right? Genetically. If that bony structure was something that was super maladaptive, evolution would have taken its course already, a long time ago. You and your ancestors wouldn't be here. So if you're here living right now, chances are you're okay. Your bony adaptations, you might have a bigger upper back, what we call the thoracic spine. You might have a little bit more extension in your lower back, you know, lordosis. What matters is context, right? Like maybe they do predispose you to certain movement patterns, but are we gonna say that everyone that has, you know, this specific structure and this specific movement is bad? No, it's just, I think about it like there's a bunch of different cups, and each cup will represent like a movement bucket. And stress to the body is water. If you always pour to the same cup, if you always do the same movement patterns, that cup might overflow. If you had a certain injury history that predisposes you to the same movement patterns, then you might be pouring into that same cup. But this is a very simplistic way of looking at it. Other things that matter are gonna be like stress, sleep, lifestyle factors, upbringing, genetics. These things play a huge role. So just to blame it on posture is super reductionist. And I always say, it's not about like the best posture, it's just about your next posture. Are you moving in different positions? If you're gonna like sit on a plane, travel to Europe, whatever, and your flight's like 4 or 5 hours, sit in perfect posture for 5 hours and let me know if it reduces your back pain. It doesn't. You know, like your back's still gonna feel tight. What's better is like if you keep yourself moving. So when people have like top 3 desk stretches, you know, or like how to fix your posture, I just say, just go for a walk. Like do something active during your day that keeps you moving. And it's not like there's things to not back this up. There's a bunch of studies, I think one in Brazil where they measured a bunch of kids and they looked at text neck, you know, forward neck. You can essentially have all of these different neck angles of your cervical spine and it didn't predict any neck pain. They've looked at people with, you know, all these different postures and they try to quantify what posture was gonna be the one that, you know, reproduced the most back pain. There's nothing. And I'll link all of the research papers that I've talked about in the video in the show notes today. But there's a lot of these beliefs where I think they keep getting perpetuated and it can be harmful for someone that might be predisposed to what we identify as, you know, bad posture. But the opposite is true. If we keep staying upright like this, people wonder why they feel tight all the time because this is just not comfortable. You know, I can't really eat a taco like this. So that's why I slouch, just let myself relax. If this was a position that bothered me, then I would just adjust. But maybe that's too simple. I just don't think the answers always need to be too complex. So don't think about posture as just one thing. It's just one representation of where you're at that moment. What's more important is like how you move and everything else, like, and are you moving in general? Before we even try to optimize movement, are you moving in general? Are you able to walk, you know, take certain micro breaks and get out of your desk? Don't worry just about like standing desk ergonomics and shit like that, because I don't know really many people that feel comfortable like doing work like this. It's just not conducive to doing work, and most people feel good getting upright in a while because they spend so much time like this. Likewise, if you're always here, you probably feel better like this sometimes. So don't overcomplicate it. 3 tacos, 3 myths about back pain, and I gotta finish this and how to eat those. If you want to sponsor me how to eat those, let me know. See you guys next time.